how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of What's Poppin' Podcast, episode number 10.
We're double digits. Double digits, baby.
To the double digit club. Yes. Oh man. Pretty crazy to think that we made it up to 10. To be honest with you, just because it's funny because I've watched and listened to most of our podcasts, and just how much better we've gotten from episode 1 to now.
I would say so.
How much more comfortable we've gotten to, and people acknowledge the fact that dude, you guys have gotten so much more comfortable. And it looks like you're having fun. I was like, because we are.
Yeah, we're having a blast with
things
this.
we love and we were passionate about. So dude, thank you so much for sticking with me for 10 episodes, Tim. It's been a blast.
Yeah, same to you, man. Dude. Same to you. I've enjoyed my time here. It's been almost cathartic to have a place to talk about movies and to talk about things, because otherwise I'd be left in like your Twitch chat or somewhere else just being like, yo, have you seen this movie? And people would be like, what's wrong with you? Of course I haven't yet. And I'd be like, dang it.
A lot of these reviews too that we do, it's like I talk about them on my my live stream, but I'd also feel bad because I'm like talking spoilers and people, shit, I don't listen to this, like spoilers, So it's nice to have a place to actually talk without having to worry about other people's spoilers, because they have to click the video to
exactly. It's on you guys. You hear that?
It's on you guys, but thank you guys so much for supporting the podcast, guys. Whether if you're listening on Spotify or watching this on YouTube, thank you guys very much. You guys are freaking fantastic.
Yes, we very much
keep
appreciate
supporting the videos. Follow us on Spotify. Like the videos, and I promise you way more content to come. And hopefully, more episodes to come.
Absolutely.
The next goal, what, 20?
Yeah, let's shoot for 20. That's easy goal.
20. Right. I think we can do it.
Yeah, we got this.
But we have quite a lot of news today. Not as much as last podcast, but
that was 2 weeks of news that time.
I think we have enough. So we have some interesting things we have to bring up, and even some Corona stuff, but it's kind of been scary. And some stuff started to get canceled and put on hold, and it was just like, yeah, man, it's looking really bad out here. You mentioned that it isn't too crazy out in Missouri.
Yeah, not so far in Missouri. Luckily, knock on wood. I know that it's kind of inevitable for more cases to appear and everything, but luckily we've only had a couple here, and the panic hasn't quite gripped to the point I know it has in other places in America, and especially overseas. So I'm very blessed in that regard, and I'm just kind of keeping my thoughts, my prayers, those who are more affected. I know California's.
It's been quite scary, man. And I feel like it's more scary at the fact that the way they're reacting to all this.
Yeah, mob mentality is a thing that is oftentimes almost as deadly as the scary.
I think people need to just take, extra precautions of just making sure they wash their hands.
Absolutely.
Use hand sanitizer, especially if you work in a place where you're always dealing with people or money or whatever, always have it. And it's interesting to me that for the past week, anytime I go get food or I go to the gym, they have hand sanitizer everywhere,
which is a great thing.
It's a good thing. Yeah, I'm not even mad at that. I'm like, thank God, but it sucks that it had to, for something like this had to happen for them to actually have that kind of stuff like accessible for us.
But I think the positive thing to take away from it is that if we work together, especially as wherever you're from, whether it be from America or other countries, working together to make sure that you're being respectful of others when you're sick, washing your hands as much as you can, and just being polite and courteous to others and how they might be around you goes a long way. And I think we can do this as a team.
The reason why I even brought this whole coronavirus stuff up is because you have two interesting topics that I feel like we should probably start with, just because they're kind of on the depressing side, and then we can kind of go into more positive.
Okay, let's rip off the Band-Aid real quick, guys. Among a lot of tragic things going on with it, we also have some entertainment news to do with it as well. And so first up, E3 2020 has reportedly been canceled, which is the first time I can think of in my memory I've ever heard of E3 not happening. I know certain studios have said, we're not going this year for various reasons, but I've never heard of E3 not happening. So that's pretty significant, because usually we get a ton of trailers, Yeah, a ton of stuff comes from E3, so I think
And
it's
this is not the first like gaming convention or just convention in general that's been canceled.
Mhm.
TwitchCon Amsterdam got canceled.
Oh boy.
South by Southwest got canceled,
Yep.
and now E3 gets canceled, and
Yep.
it's
Makes
gonna
me wonder
continue,
if
man.
Comic-Con might as well. I don't know.
It, it it just depends. I feel like maybe they might know by June because
Mhm.
when is Comic Con usually? Is that
Comic-Con,
September?
if I remember
Or
right, it's mid to late year. It's not super early in the year.
okay,
So
okay.
hopefully by then they kind of have a handle on things, or at least have
Yeah,
a
so
know.
hopefully it doesn't get even crazier than what it is
Yeah.
right now, you know. Um it's
That's
kind of a
huge.
bummer, dude, because yeah, that's honestly huge. And then also the only reason we wanted to bring that up is because it kind of leads to a movie or a show
Yeah, that I
that
mean,
is
yep,
affected by
for
it as
sure.
well. So
Captain this okay, this one's been a roller coaster to follow, and I really want to see
yeah,
it so bad, but I totally
yeah,
understand. Marvel
yeah.
Studios has shut down production for The Falcon and the Winter Soldier in Prague due to coronavirus fears. This is like the third time now it's been kind of like, oh, we're not doing it yet. Okay, we're back. Nope. And back and forth. So,
Yeah, well, so the first time it happened was there was an earthquake in
yeah,
what were they filming? Puerto Rico, I
I
think.
think yeah, it was Puerto Rico, and I mean that's just obviously understandable. It's an
Yeah,
earthquake. You gotta
yeah,
shut down
it's
for that,
mhm,
and that's
dude.
tragic. It's something they couldn't control.
Mhm.
And I think the other one was also coronavirus, and then that got like they decided to move on somewhere else or
Mhm.
something, and now
Oh, right, different location, yeah.
yeah, and then now it's in Prague that they're
Again,
shutting
yeah,
down. So it's like
yeah.
sheesh, man.
Dude, E3 and then now this is just
Yeah.
like, wow, man. And that actually just got dropped on us today
Yep.
as well. So it's a huge bummer, man. And
Yeah.
I mean, aside from that, it's for people's safety. So that's the most important thing. It's like I can't. I'm bummed out because the selfish part of
Yeah.
me is like, oh, E3, no, and then also like Falcon and Winter Soldier, like they've been dealing with so much shit already. It's just like another thing, It's like, damn it,
Yeah.
dude. But it is for the safety of people's health, dude.
Yeah,
And
and I totally get it, and it is kind of weird to be like, dang it, our entertainment, darn, while
right.
people are potentially dying and stuff. But we're talking strictly on the news part of it, of these things
Mhm.
going, having moments of halting or being canceled or whatever, just to kind of give you guys the updates as we have gotten them. But
Mhm.
yeah, man, it's getting crazy out there. People need to just keep their distance, wash their hands, and stay
Yeah.
at home if you're sick. That's
Yeah, just be safe, guys. Take the
yeah,
extra precautions. Like I said, make sure you wash your hands. You use the hand sanitizer if you're going to be in a public area. Make sure that you wipe your carts down if you go to the shopping.
yeah.
If you go buying groceries and stuff, because I always wipe my cart down with disinfecting wipes. And luckily, my store has
I
disinfecting
think I
wipes
think
when you
most of
walk
them
in.
do now as well. Most
Okay,
grocery
that's good then.
stores.
Yeah, so just take care of yourselves out there, guys, because we definitely don't want anybody else sick.
Yeah.
And just
Be
stay
smart,
at
be
home if you
safe.
need to. Stay at home if you need to.
Yep. Yep, that's how it
Because
goes.
that's what I'm trying to do, man. Especially
Exactly.
with me being a dad and stuff. Like, I don't want him to get sick, like
Oh yeah,
at all.
absolutely.
So
Speaking of, I
yeah,
can go ahead and move on to the next
let's
happier
do
news
it.
topic real quick, if you
Yeah.
like. Speaking of childhood wonder as well, Taika Watiti is set to direct Charlie and the Chocolate Factory animated series. It's going to be actually two new animated series, one of which being the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, and I believe the other one, let's see, it has been over a year since Netflix has announced that they're developing a new animated series adaptations of award-winning author uh, Roald Dahl's iconic stories and characters. And now Deadline is bringing to word the Academy Award winner Taika Watiti has officially signed on to direct two new original animated series, which will be based on the 1964 novel Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. So I guess
Mhm.
it's actually both are for that series. I thought it was
Oh,
only
okay.
one. So that's
Gotcha.
interesting. I mean,
Yeah,
it looks like
man.
the first
This
series will center on the book's famous characters, including the eccentric chocolate factory owner Willy Wonka, of course, while
yeah.
the second one will be a fresh take on the Oompa Loompas, the small humans from Loompa Land, which will be kind of
Mm.
cool.
Yeah, I would
Um,
love to hear more about like where they came from, how you know
uh,
Willy Wonka actually even,
right.
even found them or whatever. I didn't like what they did in
the I'm gonna bring that one up.
Johnny Depp version, no, please don't. Do something a little different.
That was like a drug trip, that movie, because that was wild.
Man. You know what's funny too? I was one of those people that got really excited that he got casted.
Oh, really?
Willy Wonka. I was like, oh, cool, and then I'm like, what the hell is this crap?
Dude, it was a drug trip. It had like Christopher Lee in it. And I was like, whoa.
Yeah, right? It had
like a cast.
It had a cast for sure. I just think the way they went about certain things, it was just a little too much.
It was weird. It was very odd. I don't know.
I still enjoy the classic
with Gene Wilder.
Yes.
Yeah.
Dude. Love it, man. Now, can we just talk about that Taika dude? What the more to his plate, man?
Yeah.
You know what's funny too? Like there was a photo recently of someone that took multiple pictures of Taika sleeping on set. I'm just like, bro, this man's gonna fit in any nap he could possible.
Don't blame him.
No, man, he's a workaholic. You can see it, man. This man has so many things that he has, like projects that he has lined up to work on, and it's a little scary because some of those are like ones that I really want to see, man.
Oh yeah.
And it's just like, can this man pull it off? But I don't want to doubt him.
No. It's honestly inspiring. His work ethic is killer. I mean, he is going back to back to back on not just good projects. No, he's hitting them out of the park on everything he's working on. I mean, the man is shooting for the moon and beyond, and I can't stop applauding him for it.
He's making this his year and next year as well, with all the projects he has lined up, man. So good for him, dude. And I'm more excited for Charlie the Chocolate Factory. And this is an animated series, right?
Yes, 2 of them for Netflix. Yeah. Okay, so cool. They didn't say, from what I can tell, like an estimated release date because they just announced this. So we'll see.
And I'm all up for that. I like the fact that it's animated. It's something different. I think I'm up for it for sure.
It'll be cool. But I'm going to go ahead and toss it over to you because I know you have quite a bit.
Yeah, I do have quite a bit. The first one I really do want to talk about, because this has just been a thing where people have really been pushing for a while now, is that John Krasinski from The Office, so you might know him, and
Quiet Place,
A Quiet Place, and many other films or shows that you guys might know of. He's been pretty much eyed by the peoples, us, the fans, for him to play Reed Richards in the Fantastic Four movie. So people have been really trying to be
for years, I think now.
Yeah,
honestly.
No, for quite a while, man. And so he finally got asked the question in an interview.
Ooh.
And he said, I would love to do it. Krasinski said, I think it'd be a part of I think to be a part of the Marvel world would be amazing anyways. And the fact that people would even consider me for that level of part would be amazing. I genuinely have no conversations or don't know anything that's happening with that. I'm awaiting Kevin's announcement of what he what the hell's happening with that as much as you are. That's pretty much what he said. And then he also added that when asked if he also be interested in directing a Marvel film someday, he answered, wow, that's a cool idea. It's so interesting because I'm such a huge fan of Marvel. I think that they do their own. They have such a great formula. Yeah, I jump in there. And Kevin Feige, I trust that dude is not only the most talented guy, but the nicest guy. Yeah, whatever he wants, we discuss.
Yeah.
So that's good to hear, man. That's really good to hear.
He's kissing the hand a bit there at the end. He's like, he's the coolest, the nicest.
You gotta do what you gotta do. You gotta do what you gotta do, right? Just kiss the ring, man. Kiss the ring.
Hey, if that stuff and him complimenting, but also his politeness, and obviously with the fact that he said he's down for it, man. I would love it because I think he looks perfect. I would
love it too, man. Absolutely. And I think he would play the role. He would fit in that role perfectly fine. So him as Reed Richards, I give that 2 thumbs up. And I know it's been, like I said, it's been talked about for a while. People really have even done like fan art of him as Reed Richards and stuff. And it's
which
it's
honestly
that we finally got his thoughts on that, because sometimes we'll have thoughts about, oh, you should cast this person as this, and then they always end up having the opposite feel of that, like, oh, I don't know about it or whatever. But he seems enthusiastic about it. It's just that he doesn't want to say yeah, because what if it does happen?
Dude,
I'm pretty sure he wants that to be a surprise too.
Yeah,
so
the internet would explode. And there's another thing with that too, is that a lot of people, along with John Krasinski, his wife Emily, is it Emily Blunt? Am I thinking of the right person, or am I thinking of the wrong person? I can't remember John Krasinski's wife. She was Mary Poppins recently. I mean, she's in a lot of awesome stuff.
Yes, yeah.
They want her to be the Invisible Woman, which would be Reed Richards' eventual wife. Which I'm like, hell yeah, come on! I mean, that's just like
that. I would totally be down for that. But if I could just have one or the other, John Krasinski as Reed Richards, just
but
if I can have both, dude, yes, cake and ice cream. Why not?
Please,
please, man.
Yeah, I think he'd be a perfect fit for Marvel as well, because they have a really cool ability to choose an actor that previously has done a lot of like comedy work or a lot of like wrestling work, or have been in controversial moments, and taken that actor and said, hey, we think he'd be perfect for this role, and that actor has been pretty damn spot on. And I think John Krasinski has a lot of breadth to his talent, not only as Jim Halpert from The Office, but as the dad in A Quiet Place. I absolutely loved his performance in that. And so like I think he would be a fantastic Reed Richards. I would love it if he got the opportunity. So I think it's cool that he gave his input.
I am totally down for this, and I'm very happy that he actually gave us a response.
Yes.
Because I think it kind of leaves people like stop from wondering like, oh, I wonder if he would actually play it, or I wonder what he thinks. And it's just like, all right, we got that he's down for it. So now it's just, the cards are on the table. So that's a way for Marvel. If we're
going to start adding Kevin Feige with eye emojis and links to that interview. Like
eye emojis. What you think, man? Right. All right. So the next bit of news here is Disney Plus related, right? Okay. Some good news, but also I don't know if people really wanted to see this or not. But a Beauty and the Beast prequel series is in development for Disney Plus. Luke Evans and Josh Gad will reprise their respective roles. What do you think?
I'm confused, honestly.
Yeah.
What is? I mean, I'm sure they can come up with something, but it starts with a Beauty and the Beast. Like they sum up, the guy got turned into a beast. And then you have a town with these particular characters kind of having an established history. So are they going to cover like, this is how Belle got to the town in like books, and this is why he was a dick? Like, is it going to be that, or is it?
I'm assuming it's supposed to follow Gaston and his buddy,
and his friend.
His name. Yes. Excuse me, Beauty and the Beast fans. I should know this, but I
can't remember him. I can't remember his name either.
But yeah, I don't know how this whole like prequel thing would be about, because I don't think we ever had a prequel in the animated ones. I know there was a follow-up, Beauty and the Beast. I think it was like a Christmas special type film.
There were several, I believe. No, Tim Curry was in one where he played like an evil pipe organ or something. Yeah, so there's a few like sequels and stuff, but I've always been very like,
it's interesting. I didn't ask for this, but
I don't know who it did.
I'm interested.
Yeah,
I'm definitely interested. Was especially because, like I said, more content for Disney Plus. I'm down for it, man.
Yeah,
absolutely. So, it's it's in the talks, it's in the works and stuff. So we'll see what happens with this. And
also, like, you don't know if something's gonna really hit off until they make it. So it could be something that's really cool. We don't know.
And not only that, but it's cool that they got the actors to come back for it. That's
true.
Another thing.
Yep.
Because I don't know how you feel about this, but I hate it when they try to recast somebody because they can't afford it. But this is Disney; they can afford it.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, like I feel like there's times where I just don't want Disney Plus to be like the VHS or like straight to DVD versions of shows.
What Disney is. Yeah.
Yes, you understand what I'm saying? So it's been really cool that they've been keeping the production of Disney Plus as good as like the movies that they come out in theatrical releases. You know what I mean? So this is good on Disney, and I'm totally down for this.
I agree.
So this is good news, man. We'll see. We'll just have to wait and see whatever the actual plot of the story is as of right now, because there's
That's the big question mark for sure
to go off of, you know. So yeah, that's pretty much it. But I have another good thing here that I know a lot of you guys might be excited. Are you a fan of Hocus Pocus?
I was, and still am,
You
but
were.
but I'll say no. Don't get me wrong. I do like the movie, but I'm only a fan of it when it gets closer to Halloween, during Halloween, and then when Halloween's done, I like it, but I've had enough because it's usually on all the time around Halloween. Yes. So I kind of have my fill of it by then. But yeah, it's a good time.
It's understandable. Honestly, I don't watch Hocus Pocus unless it's in October. October, I have like a set movie list that I watch from beginning to end of the end of October, and that is definitely on my list.
Yes.
Now, Disney Plus is currently developing the long-awaited sequel to the 1993 classic horror comedy Hocus Pocus, with the original trio of witches set to return. Dude.
Yo,
can you believe that?
That's crazy. Actually, that's
right?
a get.
Like I said, if anybody can do it, Disney can do it, man. They've been bringing back a bunch of these iconic characters from their early 90s films, dude.
Yep.
And it's been so great. Like I don't want to just hear like I don't want to get too overly excited here, man, because like a lot of the stuff that they announced is sounding really crispy and nice with the whole Mighty Ducks thing.
Yep.
Honey I Shrunk the Kids and this, and it's just like, please make it happen. I just want to see it, man.
Yeah, they're dangling the steak in front of you right now. They're like, look what we got coming. And
a little
just
sample,
like,
a little Costco sample, man.
Yeah, you're like please.
Come on. But this is looking really awesome. But they also they had Adam Shankman signs on to helm the Hocus Pocus 2. So that is going to be the director for the film.
Okay.
Which is yeah, that's great. You know, I'm totally, I cannot wait, man. Yeah. I really hope. I have one more bit of news here.
Yeah,
and then I'm going to toss it over to you. But let us know what you guys think of this whole Hocus Pocus 2 thing, because I can't just be the only super fan.
No.
You know? And like I said, I know you're a fan of it too, but it's just, you're right on that. It's like during October, they play the shit out of it. This movie and Trick or Treat. I don't know if you've ever seen Trick or Treat before.
Yeah, I have.
They play those two movies like back to back, like over and over. But all right, so the next one is our favorite blue furball. You know what I'm talking about? Sanic, dude. We got some Sanic news, guys. James Marsden has revealed that he has already signed up for multiple potential sequels for Sonic the Hedgehog.
That's great. That's good
thing. News. Yeah, that's good news. Now, I don't want to get my hopes up here. I don't want this to be like a, you know,
a jinx.
A jinx, yes. I'm just happy from all the success that it's been getting, dude. Like you know, we said in our review, if you guys haven't watched it yet, please go watch the Sonic review. It's probably one of my favorite reviews we've done.
Yeah, honestly. It was a blast. I enjoyed that one.
It was a lot of fun. So go check that out, guys. But like I said in the review, is that I really hope they keep this momentum going, man, and they take more and more inspirations from the video games and steer away from the whole human aspect and keep it just the characters. You know what I mean? I think if they keep it straight just the Sonic characters and have Jim Carrey as Dr. Robotnik,
that's the key for me is hopefully, I mean, it appears from the absolute avalanche of positivity that the actors, the creative teams, the artists, everyone involved with this movie, that they got through like all the different means, have just been overwhelmingly positive, and I'm hoping that Jim Carrey sees that as like, hey, I want to keep this going and I want to return. Because if they can't get Jim Carrey, like you mentioned before with the whole idea of recasting things, if they have to get somebody else to play Dr. Eggman, it's gonna feel like a letdown, because despite everyone's doubts of how he might be in this movie, he was fantastic.
I think Ben Schwartz's Sonic with Jim Carrey's Robotnik complement each other, and the one without the other is it's gonna feel a little awkward. So hopefully, they, like I said, they keep that momentum going. They focus more on the video game aspect of the characters and steer away from all the other human stuff, because the first one was a great setup for a sequel, and then they can just keep going on from there.
I agree.
So I'm rooting for Sonic, man. Trust me, I'm a big fan too. I just I don't want to get my hopes up and things don't go out the way they should. You know what I mean? But as long as they have the fans, which it's I think majority of the fans have been very pleased.
Sonic fans, I have heard no single person who's ever called themselves a Sonic fan has said hardly anything negative about this movie. And now there's more people who are like, hey, I liked that movie. I'm a kind of a fan now. The time is right, and then they're saying they have multiple projects signed up to do. Hell yeah, there's a lot of potential.
Man, multiple sequels. So we'll see. You know, they can definitely pick some of the best games out there to do a movie adaptation of, and also, you know, little villains here and there. I think it'll be interesting, man. It'll be interesting for sure. So this is great news to hear, guys. I'm gonna toss it over back to Tim. Tim, I know you got a lot more news.
Well, I have speaking about video games, actually, I have a big video game news drop that happened. They announced Sony and HBO announced that they're going to be working on a Last of Us series, which is incredible. I mean, you've praised up and down the storyline, the quality of that game. I've played it here and there. I have yet to actually fully play it. I played quite a ways into it. I loved it. I know that the sequel to that game is going to be coming out fairly soon. I believe they said it was like late this year, 2020.
No, so the sequel it should be on May. May.
Okay, 2021.
This year.
This year. Oh,
yes, it is almost out.
Shit, I gotta get caught up with that.
Just throw this in there. That is my most anticipated game of this year. There's so many great games coming out this year, but Last of Us 2 is the number one.
I've heard a lot of people say that too.
Yes.
I mean,
yeah,
it's one of those games that no matter where you are, if you even play PlayStation or not, you can't escape it. Similarly to like the iconicness of Mario and Zelda, I would say The Last of Us 2 has garnered almost a tidal wave of momentum of people saying how good of a game it is. And that's because of its story. I mean, it's fantastic.
It's the characters, the story behind it that is just so rich, and it's they did the zombie apocalypse right and different. It doesn't feel like a Walking Dead. It doesn't feel like anything like that.
Right.
It just feels so good, man. And these characters are so lovable, dude. And I am so ready for this. And I've been pushing. Well, not really pushing because I don't really have the power, but I've been hoping that they would do more series adaptations than movies for video games, because then they can tell the story that they want to tell within episodes of like an hour each episode, rather than trying to cram so much information in within the 2 hours or an hour and 40 minutes or whatever.
And this definitely absolutely needs to be a series,
and it's not gonna feel as diluted, you know what I mean? So this is great, man. And also the directors seem very enthusiastic and excited to be able to work on this, and it's just
which I wanted
the only thing that I'm hoping is they get the casting correct for Joel and Ellie, man, because those are huge roles, dude.
I was going to ask you, I was like, do you have anyone in mind for Joel? Because I have one. I want to see what you think.
Okay. Lay it on me.
Nikolai Coster-Waldau, who played Jaime Lannister in Game of Thrones.
Oh, shit. That actually was pretty good, man.
I think would be cool as the dude. But I have no clue who would play Ellie, because an actual actress played Ellie, and was that age at that time, but now she's an adult.
Yeah. So
she couldn't really play that role.
Yeah, I remember this movie's been in development it's been a movie at one point. This was going to be a movie and they canceled that and they made it into a show now, which I'm totally perfectly fine with. And at one point they really wanted to get Ellen Page to play Ellie, but she's pretty damn old now, you know what I mean? So it's like too old to play that character is what I mean by that. She's not really that old, but
because how old is Ellie in the game? She's like 12.
Ellie in like 13.
Yeah,
I want to say 13. And yeah, so
I don't know who would be in that. I mean, there's thousands of people who could potentially fill that role. I just don't know any off the top of my head that would be a good cast for that. But I'm sure that they're gonna take this seriously, knowing how iconic this is.
Yeah, as they should, because the story is there, man, and it can honestly, the first game can be told in 2 different seasons if they really wanted to.
Right.
It's
a long story, right? It's
pretty long. It is pretty long, especially for a first playthrough.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely long. There's times where it's just like, oh my god, this is the end, and you're like, wait, no, it's not, and it just keeps going. And one thing that they added in there as well, which was kind of random, because IGN tweeted this out too, and I think if people that know, I don't know why they wouldn't add this, but the character in that, Ellie, she is a she's lesbian,
right? I knew that from the trailer of
right,
the second one. That's
Last
what
of
I
Us 2, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know why they felt the need to point out the fact that her character is going to be lesbian in the show too. It's like, well, if they're going to go off to the same story from the video game, why wouldn't she be?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
I think maybe that's to hush the immediate potential worry of people being like, well, it's Hollywood, so they're gonna brush that under the rug or whatever, which they shouldn't, because it's part of who the character is.
So yeah, I was assuming their intentions are probably good, but I think it's just probably because, I don't know. I don't think they really needed to say anything in regards to that. Let's just leave it be and just wait till the show comes out.
Yeah.
But it's funny that they would point that out. But other than that, man, as far as just the announcement goes, I'm excited and I want this to be out this year, but it's not, unfortunately. Now we just have to wait for the castings, man, of Joel and Ellie, dude. Everyone else, I there isn't too many crucial roles in there. There's maybe like 1 or 2, which is like Joel's brother, his little brother, which you later on meet in the game. But it's Joel and Ellie the entire time, majority of the time. Just fighting for survival, him trying to transport this, at first she was just a girl and eventually becomes
more important than that
to him. So dude, I'm trying to think in my head who would I want to be casted as both these characters, but I don't know. I really don't know, man.
It's tough to tell.
Yeah. But that is a good one though. Jamie Lannister, dude, as Joel.
I think it'd be cool.
That's actually pretty good. That's an interesting one.
Yes.
Just let us know down below, or on Twitter, who would you actually think would be pretty good for casting of
I would really be interested to hear what you guys can suggest for that, because we're kind of drawing blanks on the board right now. So please let us know.
But it's only the only reason why I can't really think of anybody right now is because I love these characters so much that it's just like, I don't want them to fuck it up. I really don't. And that's just, it's kind of like how Sonic, creators or Sonic fans felt about the Sonic character. They wanted to make sure that the voice was right and the look was right. I'm the same way with these 2 specific characters. I want to make sure that they have the chops for these specific characters, man, because Joel is a fucking badass, dude. And the shit that he's put through in this game, or in the story is there's gonna be some acting chops in there, dude. There's gonna be some acting chops. But go on if you have any more.
No, not on that topic, but on equally nerdy topics, if you want to say, is news about Thor, Love, and Thunder. Now, the next 2 little beats here, which we're going to kind of treat as one bit of news, if you're super sensitive to plot details, you can kind of see this as a spoiler. Skip maybe, I don't know, 3-5 minutes ahead into the thing, just so we can go ahead and get this bit of news out. If you don't mind, stick around, though, because I don't think it's too spoilery. Tessa Thompson, who plays Valkyrie in the MCU, has confirmed that Christian Bale, the Batman himself, will be playing the villain in Thor: Love and Thunder. It's absolutely confirmed now, not just speculation. So it's kind of cool. I'm immediately, I said this last time we talked about this, I think of the line, you either die a hero or you live long enough to see yourself become a villain. It's kind of cool.
Ironically, that's crazy, right?
Yeah, so I like that. Do you have any particular villains? I know everyone's saying Galactus at this point, but there's been a couple others. Do you have any you have to seize, or you just get excited to see him be bad?
I'm just excited to see him as a villain in a Marvel movie. Like that is fucking cool. I don't care which villain he plays. I'm just excited that he's in the Marvel universe. And I don't know, man. I'm pumped. It's really cool.
Did you ever see?
Which is interesting though that Tessa Thompson would confirm that. I'm surprised that she probably didn't get in trouble for that.
She may have. Who knows?
Yeah, like that's kind of a big thing, in my opinion. Like, I'm pretty sure people would have probably would rather have waited for a trailer.
Probably.
To find that out.
Did you ever see Christian Bale's iconic, famous rant behind the scenes where he just goes off? I can't remember what project it was.
It was for Terminator Salvation.
Yeah, he went off on that one, and I kind of love it. He's like, "Oh, good for you," and he's going like off on this guy for walking and messing up the scene. And I'm like, hey, if Christian Bale can take that energy,
he was kind of a dick too. I mean, I think majority of people agree that he was kind of a dick to him. He didn't really have to be that mean to him.
Yeah, but I kind of get it too. I don't know.
I get his frustration too. I get both perspectives. His frustration is because he's trying to get his work done and make sure that he has the right energy and his lines, and then someone just kind of fucks it up. So I can get his frustration as well.
Yeah, I'm hoping that he can take that energy,
channel that energy, and
put it in the villain. Because then, especially, and I would die if in the movie he looks at the hero, he's like, "Oh, good for you." Oh my god, which they won't happen, I guarantee, but it would be awesome. And then the other bit of, a little bit of spoilery plotness, but not too bad, is the Guardians have been confirmed, Guardians of the Galaxy, to appear in Thor, Love, and Thunder, which, were you surprised to hear that, or?
A little bit, only because I think there was questions. I don't know if Taika or who mentioned it. They kept asking if the Guardians are going to be in it or whatever because of the ending of Endgame.
Right.
And I think they were kind of like, they'd always kind of just like dodge the question and just like answer with something else. It has never really been confirmed, but this is great that it is confirmed. I don't think they're going to be in it for that long. Obviously, I think they're probably just going to maybe drop them off, have a conversation or two, whatever, and then just leave it at that.
I think the most they could potentially be in it. I don't think they're going to be in the whole movie at all. I think the most they could be is in the first act at most.
Just in the beginning, or to see kind of where they went with Thor from there on, and maybe it kind of gives us an answer as to where they going to.
Yeah,
after that, you know what I mean? Because
also,
Guardians 3 is supposed to be worked on next year. After this James Gunn's done with the Suicide Squad,
right,
he's gonna go work on Guardians 3. So maybe I don't know if he worked with with James and told him, where is he gonna go with this, so that way he can kind of put it in there a little bit. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean it's interesting. I mean it makes sense for me, but yeah, it's just kind of cool that they've had these little bit of announcements and everything like that. I know that there's a lot of fan speculation going on with it. I'm really anticipating and hoping that before terribly long we can get a trailer, because I really want to see.
It doesn't seem that long though. We are going to get a trailer though.
I don't think so, but I who knows? I mean, they could wait till the last second if they wanted to, but
right. Comic-Con, if it hopefully doesn't get canceled, I feel like that's that seems like the logical
they would drop it.
thing to do and drop. For that kind of stuff.
Because the Marvel trailers, man, when they drop hard. They break records usually. I mean, a lot of people look forward to them. So,
and look forward to my reaction for those, because I'm just freak the fuck out to see Christian Bale as the villain.
He's got a big mustache going, or something like that. Who knows?
Or maybe he's just the voice. We don't know if it's actually him, or if he's just voice acting a creature of some sort or whatever,
Yep.
So this should be interesting, man.
So I'm going to toss it over to you now, because I only got a few more after that.
All right. So news is going around that Todd McFarlane Spawn reboot that he's working on was probably canceled. Because apparently Jamie Foxx's scheduling was kind of conflicting. So it's just the rumor, right? And they weren't able to pretty much make the film without him because the investors really wanted Jamie as Spawn. So But it has been confirmed that Todd McFarlane, Jamie Foxx is still attached to Spawn reboot.
Okay.
That during an interview of Shoryuken, McFarlane revealed that he feels confident. Hollywood is a different place right now. They understand the value of what Spawn can bring to a reasonable budget.
Yep.
McFarlane added that he does have a few demands for the movie. However, I have very few demands for the movie. It has to be rated R, which makes sense.
Absolutely.
Spawn, dude. Like, we're fucking talking about even the classic 1997.
Yeah, 97. Yep.
97 was rated R. So yeah, this wouldn't work as a PG-13 film.
Oh, it shouldn't.
Like, I mean, absolutely.
At this point, we've already established time and time again, not only just comic book movies, but movies in general that are rated R, especially in today's day and age, do real well at the box office if they're good.
Oh yeah, it's possible.
So there's definitely no reason why they shouldn't.
And you can thank Deadpool and Wolverine for that one. No, Logan.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Logan did great. There's no debate around that. With the story I want to tell, my intent goes back to that Spawn cloud. I'm less concerned about what happens in the movie as long as Spawn is cool and badass. The last demand is that I am the director. That's it. Everything else is up for conversation. I just want to show that there are better and smarter ways to entertain an audience than what they are used to. Ooh. So much more possible once you open yourself to rated R stories. But I can't just do a cardboard version. I need the budget to do it. Just enough to make it the right way. I like that attitude that he's going with there, dude.
He's like, I'm flexible. I have definitely some criteria. I want it to be good.
He wants to direct, and he wants it to be rated R. And he just wants the right budget to be able to tell the story he wants to tell. Because I think Spawn right now would fucking work, dude.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, it would work so well. So I hope this actually gets, back on track. And since he said that Jamie Foxx is still attached to it, so hopefully whatever they find the time or the schedule, whatever they got to do, totally down with this.
I honestly, I'm trying to think too. I don't remember how. Because I didn't ever see the original, the 97 Spawn movie.
It's funny because when it came out, it didn't do so great.
That's what I was wondering.
Over the years, it became a cult classic.
Right. So
yeah.
And nowadays, I mean, everything that you could throw at a potential movie is either trying too hard or it's digging into that pool of, hey, these are kind of fantastic characters and got cool history and different actors attached to it, which Jamie Foxx, I didn't like him personally in Amazing Spider-Man 2 as Electro, but in a lot of things, I've liked his performances. Oh, yeah. So I'm down.
Django Unchained?
Yeah, dude, killed it, man.
That yes, absolutely. Yeah, there's quite a lot of movies that I love Jamie Foxx in. He was also in the Baby Driver, which I don't know if you saw. By the way,
I had to stop it. I got halfway through. I did, but I was gonna fall asleep on my bed, and I was like, "Damn it,
liar!"
I'm sorry. I tried.
He is in that movie as well, and he's very good in it.
Yes.
So you should definitely check him out on that. But yeah, dude, totally down. I'm just happy that he confirms that everything's still on board. We probably just have to wait a little bit longer because we don't know what other projects he's probably working on. I think Todd is probably just adding the finishing touches to the script or whatever he has to do to make sure that he gets the budget and can confirm that with everybody else, because these movies take time to make.
Yeah, they do.
Because you have to wait for other people's approvals on a lot of shit. So it's totally understanding. I also it seems like he's ready. Like
he's got a good attitude about it too, which is I think key. So I think I'm looking forward to it for sure.
Yes, absolutely. So we got some Star Wars news, boys. So to be specific, Mandalorian.
Ooh.
I don't know if you know this, but
tasty.
Mandalorian season 2 has been wrapped filming already. It's officially done.
Sweet.
Done
Can't
filming.
wait. Give it to me now, please.
And also, one more good thing, which I think, Tim, you're probably going to love this. Dave Filoni will return to direct an episode of The Mandalorian season 2.
Excellent. That's good.
And also a quick announcement, which I didn't even tell you off the podcast. I'm actually going to be going to a panel of The Mandalorian in about a week here in Hollywood.
Shit. Oh shit!
Yeah, I bought tickets for them. The whole cast is gonna be there.
dude.
Pedro Pascal, everyone's gonna be there.
Record that shit.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely gonna do my best to record and maybe upload a little video here and there and on the YouTubes or something. We'll figure it out. Yeah. But for sure, you'll get a lot of pictures on my Instagram and Twitter. So be sure to go follow at Jimmy J List.
So plug there.
Yeah, dude, I'm so excited for this. And I mean, I don't think I'll get a trailer at this panel. I really doubt it. I'm not really expecting that. But if I do, that'd be great, right? But I'm just excited that they're finally done. And this is supposed to release in October, if I'm correct.
Yeah, a later part of this year. Which honestly is a kind of a quick turnaround. I mean, but I think also it's kind of weird. I don't know why Disney Plus is doing this with their release of The Mandalorian. Like, it was released in North America, but it just recently got released, I think, in Europe, which is kind of like
there was a couple places where it didn't. Yeah,
the big delay. So I'm hoping that when season 2 comes out and drops, that they're more like, hey, it's released everywhere at the same time.
Right.
But I'm looking forward to this, man. Season 1, the way it ended, has me hype. Oh God!
Right, exactly, dude. Now the whole Dave Filoni thing. I mean, I thought for the longest time I thought this was Dave Filoni's and Jon Favreau's project. I thought it was both of theirs, but or is this only Jon Favreau?
I believe it's Jon Favreau who's the actual like head honcho of the thing. Dave Filoni was just like a big name that was taking part in quite a bit of season 1.
He was working with the majority of the time. Right?
Yeah. And Dave Filoni is one of those super fans, because for those who do not recognize the name, you can Google him for an image of his face. But he like learned with George Lucas at Skywalker Ranch, how to structure a Star Wars story. That it's important to go places new and do new things and show new technologies and take your time and do that. And so he's really stressed the lore and the approach to these characters to be taken well, with a lot of diversity and stuff like that. He's just an absolute super fan who has the seal of approval of George Lucas on it, which is all I need to be like, hell yes, more from him, please. So I'm excited.
No, it's super pumped, man. And there's nothing more to say other than the fact that
he's on
now,
it,
man. Just get it done already. Just get it released, maybe a month or two early if you could.
Yes.
No, I'm just kidding. Take your time, honestly. Even if they have to wait till next year to release The Mandalorian season 2, I'd be totally fine with that. Please take your time, especially with all the hype and positivity, and the fact that, Mandalorian's probably been the best thing from Star Wars universe in a while.
Yeah, it's up there. Yes, for sure.
Definitely take your time.
Make it good.
Yes. I have no doubt about that. This next season is going to be great. Especially with that cliffhanger, like you mentioned at the very end. That was fucking insane.
I'm ready for it.
So I'm going to go ahead and do one more here, and then I'll toss it back to you. Actually, I'll do 2 more. I'll toss it back to you. Yeah. So, because the first one that I'm going to bring up here is kind of interesting. Okay. Noah Schnapp, who's the actor of Stranger Things. He was the one that gets kidnapped and gets taken to Will. Yeah. He plays Will, the one that goes the first season goes missing to the Upside Down. Noah Schnapp has revealed that he hates his character's 80s bowl haircut in Stranger Things. Why is this even news? I don't really know, but why did I want to bring it up? It's just because it's interesting that he wanted to say that. And what do you think about this?
Okay, first of all, I think he has a level of swagger on the show with that haircut, and I'm offended. Right. No, I don't care. Haircuts are haircuts, man, and it's a part of a character. What I think is interesting too is that you may not be a super fan of the style, but it fits the character for sure. Yeah, and a lot of actors have had to do things with their hair.
And the timepiece, it's the 80s, man. A lot of kids in the 80s had their hair like that, including my older brother.
Really?
Both of my older brothers, but like my middle brother's the one that had the bowl cut.
Yeah.
They lived through the 80s, and he looks.
Did he rock it? Did he rock it good? He
rocked it, man.
There you
go. So it makes sense, you know what I mean? But I don't understand why he would like.
Well, I kind of like I was saying, I was like, other actors have had it worse. Like Jeremy Renner in Endgame had one of the weirdest haircuts I've seen.
Yeah.
in a while. It was weird. It was
And if we
wild.
want to talk about haircuts, dude, look at Venom. It's this Woody Harrelson's character.
Yeah. Oh
You
yeah.
know,
Yeah.
Dude, come on now. Come on now. Your hair is not that bad.
Yeah.
Like,
bowl cut's actually kind of good.
And honestly, no one really pointed it out until you actually said something.
Yep.
It doesn't look like
it didn't look,
it doesn't look like a wig or anything like that. I think this is natural hair as far as I know.
It might have been. I think so.
Yeah.
At no point did I stop and go, this takes me out of it. That's just ridiculous.
You're right. Because it's like it fit perfectly with the time period of, it's the 80s. Like we get it, the way you guys are dressed, the way they talk, the way they, their haircuts or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It's totally fine.
You know what? In fact, I'll be bold. I'll be the first to say this. I want every character in that show from here on to have a bowl cut, and I'm not even joking. I want it.
Just everybody. Right?
Yeah. Just make it
even
the bowl
Nancy
cut show.
Wheeler. Even Nancy Wheeler too. But aside from the bowl cut stuff, are you excited for season 3?
Oh, or season 4?
Actually,
yeah. Hell yeah, dude. Yeah, I mean, we talked about a particular review, which we won't say here, a particular review that was dropped, a reveal that was dropped in a trailer recently, which has mixed feelings about, but overall, even with that, I'm really looking forward to. I'm chomping at the bit.
They also released a small little video of them being like, I guess the first day of them doing like the reading.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah,
the table reading for pretty much the whole script where everybody reads their lines and stuff,
which was cool.
Which is really cool. I like that they did that. I like a lot of behind the scenes stuff. Whenever the shooting scenes or table reads. Like I think it's interesting. Like when they did the Game of Thrones table read thing, the reactions to that stuff,
dude,
really interesting. I know. I don't mean to bring it up. I'm so sorry.
You're fine. You're fine. No, I wanted to say something about that since we're talking about that real quick. The actor, I cannot remember his name. The actor for Varys. His reaction to that was some of the most relatable shit. Where he just looked upset, and then he took the script as soon as that happened and just dropped it in the trash.
Yeah, he just moved it forward.
I was like
it's
perfect,
pissed, man.
It's perfect.
His reaction was really fucking great.
Yeah.
But yeah, other than that, just want to bring up the bowl cut, and just let you guys know if you have a bowl cut, rock it, man, rock it. All right, 80s or not. But I got something very interesting here, man. Some horror related stuff. Okay, because I love my horror.
Spooky. Let's do it.
I love it. Jason Blum has said that they have talked about developing a film based on Halloween Horror Nights at Blumhouse. Now, do you know what Halloween Horror Nights is?
No, truthfully. I know of the name, and I have heard that it's excellent, but I have not actually understood what it is.
Okay, so Universal Studios in Hollywood and Orlando. It originally started in Orlando. What it is, it's a Halloween event that they have where they have a bunch of walk-through mazes, and also not just mazes, but there's certain sections of the park that are decked out horror themed with different IPs of like different films. At first they didn't even use IPs. It was just like original characters and their own like characters, like Dracula and all that other stuff, right? Yeah. But now it's definitely covered with like IPs. With just like they even had a Stranger Things maze. They've had just Freddy Krueger, Jason, all these crazy stuff. So this is really, really interesting. Now, when they mentioned that they were developing a film based on Halloween Horror Nights, now it got me thinking of a movie called Hellfest. I don't know if they're gonna. Yes, I don't know if they're going with that route or if they're going with the mythology of Horror Nights, because a lot of people don't know that there's actually a mythology of Halloween Horror Nights, dude. There's like a whole story and everything that Universal Studios built of like iconic characters from Horror Nights.
Is it kind of like the Disney's Haunted Mansion and like their lore with like the different ghosts of the mansion and how they have a bunch of stories with them?
Yes.
Cool. Yes.
So I don't know exactly what they're gonna go with that. If it is ever made. Like I said, it's still talked about. They have talked about it, and it's about developing a film. So it's just talked about, right? So this is all just a rumor thing that potentially they could or not. I don't know which route I would want them to go, because I do like the fact of it being like a Hellfest thing, where it's just like they record a bunch of people going to different Halloween Horror Nights, or
which that would be kind of a weird choice. Well, if Blumhouse is involved, I mean, like, they're known for having a wide range of quality, but I would say that, like, for the most part, it's been pretty good. Or they can just
do the history too, because there's a lot of history with Halloween Horror Nights, man, and a lot of people don't know this.
Yeah.
But they've there's some crazy stuff in terms of mazes that they got away with, and also the themes, right? Like, one of the craziest themes I can think of that only happened one year. I wasn't even around that year to go, because it only happened in Orlando, where they had a marble themed Halloween Horror Nights. Now the theme was Now the theme was that the villains won and they took over the planet, and all like body parts of different superheroes were like all over the park, or Iron Man's shield had like blood on it.
Little Johnny was terrified.
And then Carnage is on top of like a tower screaming at people.
Oh wow.
It was fucked. It only happened 1 year, and then I think they got like a cease and desist letter to not do that anymore, because they didn't. I think Universal
get the rights.
Universal probably didn't specify what they were going to do with Marvel's characters at that time. And this was probably after Spider-Man 1, the movie came out, the one with Tobey Maguire.
Right.
So at that time, dude, when that movie launched, Marvel became a big thing. You know what I mean? So this is interesting, man. Like, I'm very, very excited to see what they go with this, and I hope this becomes an actual thing. I'm just curious to know what they're going to go in terms of, if they're going to go with the mythology of it, or if they're going to do it where maybe they take the perspective of the creators, and they want to do like almost like a almost like a documentary type style of like how it got started, and how it went,
which would be cool too,
to what it is now. You know what I mean?
Now that you mentioned it, like that would actually kind of be cool, because I like you were talking about how you like behind the scenes stuff. I mean, that's just another layer of that, of like just another cool aspect of entertainment stuff and everything like that. I'd consume that for sure. Yeah.
So I think this is great news. So let us know what you guys think about it. I know some of you guys that probably have let me know if you've actually ever been to Horror Nights before, because I love to go to these things. I can't always go every year, but the years that I have gone to have been fucking phenomenal. But
I've only ever gone to like tiny little festivals here in Missouri, which is usually a corn maze, and some hillbilly like, yeah, you find your way. We'll get a scarecrow.
So you get the actual you get the idea of what like Horror Nights potentially is, with like the mazes and stuff.
No, not at all. It's a lot of people with flashlights going, I think it's this way. Quit crying and all this other stuff. Like, there's nothing spooky going on where I'm at. But. So it'd be cool to see something like that for sure. You were mentioning how they did a Marvel themed like segment, that Once Upon a Time thing. So I'm going to go ahead and jump into the next bit, if you don't mind.
Which, by the way, I don't mean to cut you off. You can actually find that little bit on YouTube.
Oh, really?
If you're ever interested, if you're ever interested,
for sure, check it out.
So just it's up there. There's only like, dude, this is like early '90s footage. So
it's
the cameras back then were not that great.
They're potatoes and rocks, basically.
So that way you guys kind of have a general idea of what it was back then.
I'll have to check that out. And if I find it too, I'll put some links down below on the video that you guys can click those to see.
Oh yeah, that'd be a good idea for sure.
But the next bit of news is Roberto Orci, I believe that's how you pronounce his name, I'm so sorry, is set to write the screenplay for an untitled Spider-Man spin-off film for Sony Pictures, which at first I thought this was the same one where it's in October, but that was a Sony and Marvel project. This is strictly a Sony-only Spider-Man spin-off.
I feel so like weird about this. This is because I'm kind of over the fact that they're doing spin-offs, and I just want them to focus on Spider-Man.
Because they feel weird without the hero. I mean, it's like,
man,
I don't know, because I was trying to think of characters that
they're just trying to get that comic book money. That's what it is.
Yeah, I don't know, because I know in the past they've mentioned that they were wanting to do a Black Cat solo movie in the past, but that's never come to fruition. They might be referring to that. I don't know really what they would want to do. But I'm in the same boat as you. I'm really kind of tired of all the different, just Venom without Spider-Man. Okay, well eventually he's gonna meet up, so why didn't we just see him with him there? Like, it just feels very like segmented unnecessarily, when it could just be nice fluid storytelling. I don't know.
Yeah.
It does very, very much feel like a cash grab. But as far as Roberto being involved, I don't know off the top of my head what he did in his past. I like, as far as his credentials. I mean, I look at the article. They do cite he has blockbuster credits, include 2 Transformers installments, the Star Trek, the newish Star Trek films.
Okay.
He worked on Mission Impossible 3. He worked on Fox's Fringe, Sleepy Hollow, Matador, and Hawaii Five-0, which, I mean, he's worked on projects that have been successful in the past, but I don't know to the extent that he was the reason it worked or didn't work. It's hard to tell those things, so I don't know how to really feel about this, other than
I don't care for it. I'll be honest with you. I don't care for it. Like, I don't mean to shit on anybody's parade that actually is excited for this. You know what I mean? But it's just like it goes back to what I was saying, that I just don't really care for some of these spin-off films.
Yeah.
That haven't really, like, there hasn't been a world built properly with Spider-Man and these villains yet, man. Like, until we can get Spider-Man, Tom Holland, to interact with Venom or Carnage, or potentially Jared Leto's,
for sure,
Morbius, like,
stop.
It just feels awkward. It feels awkward because we haven't seen Tom Holland in any of them or appear in any of the other ones. And not only that, it feels even more awkward at the fact that in Morbius they showed fucking Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man and not Tom Holland. So it's just like, okay, which universe is this taking place in?
Yeah. Well, also simultaneously they're showing Vulture.
Look, I'm just speaking from my mind and what I've been thinking, and people might seem like crazy here, man, but I'm just, what I think would be really fucking cool, potentially, right? What if Tobey Maguire actually appeared in Morbius and he appeared in Venom, right? Now keep in mind, and it's not Tom Holland. What if he appears in those films as Spider-Man, and eventually that leads to a Spider-Verse movie?
Well, I mentioned that a while ago, and I 100% want that. But you pointed out at the time, I don't think we're going to get Spider-Verse-y levels in Morbius, but it would be cool if there's a whisper feeling of it. Which would feel like a justification. It would help justify this, because otherwise, I agree. It just feels like they're saying, give me that money. Give me that money. Instead of... So I don't know how to feel about it either.
You don't know if there's like a point to all this. You know what I mean? Like, why are they setting up all these characters to have their own specific story? Do they really have some type of meaning later on? Or is this just for you guys to make that comic book money? You know?
Yeah, and I want to look the best and or not look the best, see the best in everybody and their intentions. But if it's consistently just these spin-offs that never really feel like they pay off, or they just exist just to exist, I'm sorry, I'm going to start seeing a pattern. So we'll see.
Right. I think we just have to wait to see how Morbius and Venom 2 do. And, I think Sony will probably realize what they
have to do
here, so we'll see. Other than that, as of right now, as far as that news, it's whatever. I really don't care.
Some images were dropped in other news, but also talking about movies and things we're looking forward to potentially. Matt Reeves dropped 3 photos on Twitter. He likes dropping it on Twitter and surprising the world, doesn't he? of the new looking Batmobile, which some people have lost their minds and loving it. Some people have said that it's, okay, and then other people have been kind of disappointed on it. Where do you sit on the reaction scale seeing this new Batmobile?
I've read a lot of these comments, not like just on Twitter, but like just people like Bat fans, right? Fellow Bat fans of how they felt about it and how other people feel about like the good and the bad. I've read both of them and I see where both are coming from. I'm definitely on the positive side.
Okay.
I like the way it looks, dude. I like the it gives it that 90s feel, right? And a lot of people are complaining about the way it looks and all this yada yada yada. But what they need to understand is this is year 2 of Batman.
Consistently they forget that. It's kind of funny. I feel like
people are complaining because they want it to be like fucking Christian Bale's Batman where it's like tanked out style.
Yeah.
Whatever, right? Like or
Ben Affleck.
What you call it? Ben Affleck's or the other one Michael Keaton's Batman 1989.
Oh yeah.
Where that year he was already Batman. That wasn't even like an origin story. He was already Batman for a bit. And this one, he's just Batman his second year as Batman. So that falls back to what I said previously, that as his character develops maybe through this story or through the next film that he does that is Batman related, his technology will get better. And also the Batmobile might change. And also, the Batwing or he starts to bat suit looks different. Yeah. It's just, we just have to wait and see. The movie's not even out yet. But it looks fucking cool for what it is so far.
Dude, I like the aesthetic of every photo, but especially this.
It's taking place in the 90s, so it makes sense that it kind of would look that way, because in the 90s, muscle cars were the shit, and I still think they're the shit. But I think back then, specifically 90s, like Mustangs or just, dude, please.
Man, I tell you what, the aesthetic of the photos as well, like the way the vehicle looks with him standing next to it, the lighting and everything, I'm like, hell yeah!
Another thing to point out, he's wearing a cape.
Oh yeah, he is!
Yes.
Hell
he's
yeah!
Wearing the cape. He has the cape. That answers a lot of questions because of him not having the cape, and it's right there.
Yep.
So, I'm absolutely happy with it. I just feel like a lot of the complaints are coming from people who are like, they don't understand, or they keep forgetting the fact that this is year 2, dude.
Yeah.
His technology is not going to be all the way up there, or his gadgets are not going to be all the way up there. It's trial and error. Maybe this Batmobile ends up getting fucked, or it ends up wrecked. And he ends up building a brand new one, or start building it more tank style.
Yeah, he's a billionaire. He can probably just get another one. Or have multiple. So yeah, but I like this one a lot.
Maybe the first year they acknowledge his first year as Batman in this film, where he didn't even have a Batmobile or something.
Exactly.
So we'll have to wait and see.
No, I think that's about all the news that I have on my end. I don't know about you, if you're out of news or anything like that.
Yeah, no, I have a couple more.
Okay,
and then we should be done here. So I'll definitely end it off. So the next one is, they just announced 4 hours ago, as of today, that Alexander Maloney, I'm gonna say Maloney, and Ever Anderson have been cast as Peter Pan and Wendy in Disney's Peter Pan and Wendy live action film.
I forgot this series was happening. I completely that just went over my head. Cool. Man, Disney Plus has stuff in the works that I keep forgetting about, that I keep saying to myself, yeah, I want to see that. But it just seems like they're taking a while in between. But interesting. Who is it again that got cast? Do we know anything that they've done?
Alexander Maloney and Ever Anderson. No, they're kids, man. Literal kids. Like, they're taking that point, because I'm so used to like the cartoon version of Peter Pan and the Lost Boys. You know what I'm talking about? The Disney one. I forget the cartoon one. I believe that's what it was called. I can be wrong here, guys. Also used to that one where Peter Pan looked more of a teenager than anything. He didn't really look too much of a boy. The Lost Boys looked like boys, like little kids.
Like little kids, yeah.
But from the pictures I've looked up from Alexander Maloney and Ever Anderson, they look like small kids, like 7, 8 tops. So we'll see how they do this. Granted, this could be older photos, but as far as I know, yeah, this is interesting. And then also to something to point out, um, because I just feel like Disney's been doing a pretty good job of like casting people, that are with color.
Right.
Peter Pan is Alexander Malone. I don't know what race he is, but he's not white, not like in the original
Right.
cartoon.
Which
Which
I
I
don't
think it's
think.
cool. I think it's cool, but
Yeah.
I don't think it's something that people are pointing out on Twitter about like, oh my god, he's being Peter Pan is being played by a boy of color. It's just like I don't think that's something that's like.
Yeah, I don't think that's too big because like Peter Pan, it's a cool iconic IP, and like the entire concept of Peter Pan, the Lost Boys, Neverland, and all this other stuff is very very fantastical, and it's actually quite fun. But like the character will work regardless of the race or anything like that, just because he's basically a lost child. Like he's
Yeah.
his whole like culture and everything won't carry over or anything like that. It's Peter Pan. The man can fly, has a fairy named Tinkerbell on his side with a bunch of Lost Boys, and he fights a pirate named Captain Hook. That's all I need. So I don't care really, to be honest with you. I just hope it's good. With them being so young, it's kind of interesting.
Yeah, I think it's
maybe
cool, dude.
maybe it's a get so that if they have a lot of potential content for this, that they kind of don't age out of the role too quickly. That could be part of it as well. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe they wanted to do more potentially later on. I think it's great that they're casting smaller kids to do this. One of my favorite Peter Pan adaptations was obviously like Robert Williams and Hook. Have you ever seen Hook?
Dude,
Hook,
killer.
dude.
Yes.
Yeah. And I was so confused when watching it as a kid because I think I saw that movie before or after Peter Pan, the animated one.
Right.
And I was like, why is Peter old or whatever? But I didn't realize that this was a sequel, or Hooks is technically a sequel later on.
Yeah.
Because Wendy is like an older lady in that one. And it's just, I thought it was fucking genius. Like even to this day, Hook is awesome. Dude.
I love that movie so much. There's a food fight scene in that movie
dude, yes.
That even the stuff they're throwing, I just want to eat.
So good, yes.
So bad.
It looked like frosting. Everything looked like colorful frosting.
Yes, it was great. I love that movie.
Yeah, good stuff. So that's positive stuff here. We got more Disney stuff. So good on Alexander. I've looked it up right now, and it looks like he only has 4 credits. Nothing too big in terms of film. So this is probably his biggest. Big
good luck to him. You got this.
And Ever Anderson as well. So good luck to both of them.
Yes.
Now the next one I have here is an update on the whole Lizzy Maguire series.
Ooh, drama. Let's get into it, boys.
So we brought it up last week on the podcast that she voiced her opinions about having the Lizzy Maguire series moved over to Hulu because they wanted to have the story or be able to tell the story that they wanted to tell. Right. Now, it was never really detailed as to what's the story they wanted to tell or what topics they wanted to like actually use in the show. Now, it has been confirmed here that sex and cheating were center plot points in the first episode of Lizzy Maguire Revival, in the planned Disney series halted production earlier this year due to creative differences. Now we know what the creative differences were.
Yeah, I would say like Disney, while they have skirted with topics like that in the past, have never been outright like, this show's about this moment and this awkward situation, especially. Like
apparently, from what I was reading in this article, that basically the original director wasn't really informed as to what boundaries they can push,
right?
In terms of like topics like this, for instance, like sex and cheating and all this stuff. But I would feel like if for something that is being developed for Disney Plus, should be common sense that you probably shouldn't be talking about sex and cheating and all this other stuff. Like, I don't know. That's just me. I just thought that you would use your common sense. Like, okay, this is Disney Plus. Maybe I should ask
Yeah, I would say that's a good first step.
That it'd be okay to use this as the center plot points. This was all going to be on the first episode of the series, dude. Like, holy shit. Can you imagine if I was watching this with my daughter or my son or whoever, right? Like, just hypothetically speaking here.
Yes.
And that I grew up on. Oh my God, this is Lizzy Maguire, the girl gets to live through her life. And then she ends up talking about like, oh, how she cheated on somebody or she got cheated on and talking about sex and stuff. Like, dude, come on. Like, I get her point of view, Hilary Duff, where she wants to be able to tell the story of Lizzy being a 30-year-old woman now.
Yeah, the thing is, though, is like she doesn't own like the character. Disney does.
Exactly.
So I know that you have a feeling of ownership because the character is basically you, but it's Disney, man. I mean, like they still like they've branched out certainly with
they're
the stuff
trying
they
to
own.
keep it family friendly still. We get that, and that's why we fell in love with Lizzy Maguire, because we grew up as teenagers with her. Or I did. I love watching her show. Like I liked it, but it's just I don't think it's gonna happen. I personally don't think it's gonna happen anymore. I don't think she's gonna be happy with telling a story, a family-friendly story on Disney Plus. And I don't think that Disney's gonna just put it on Hulu. I don't think it's gonna happen.
I don't think they'll do that.
If it does, I'd be really surprised.
The only way it's still going to happen, and I think this is the only way, is if they got her on contract to do it.
Okay.
But with that, she may be phoning it in at that point. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, like, will it be as good? So it's kind of in a no-win situation at this point. It's unfortunate to those who are huge fans of the Lizzy Maguire show and everything like that. But it is what it is. I mean, like, there's going to be creative differences regardless. But at the end of the day, the owners of the IP have the final say. And if they're not wanting to push those boundaries in a show that, honestly, I can understand they want to keep family friendly, then they're not going to push those boundaries, and that's just the end of the story. So I get it, but it's just like kind of shocking. In the first episode, they'd be like, "Look, he's cheating while parking," or something like that. You'd be like, "Whoa,
right?
What? Why?"
So we'll definitely keep everybody updated as we get more. What's going to happen with the series, man? It's a bit of a bummer, because this is definitely one of the first things that got announced when Disney Plus was about to release. And there was already images of her filming the first episode and stuff like that. So it's kind of
it's not those kinds of images, that's for sure.
No, it's just no, not those. So unfortunate news as of right now, but hopefully we can get more to update on you guys, whether if it's going to become a thing or not. And anyways, let's go ahead and move on to the next topic here.
Okay.
Now, Jodie Comer is reportedly the top choice to play young Furiosa in the Mad Max Furiosa prequel. Richard Madden is also reportedly being wanted for in the film. Now, did you ever watch the Mad Max Fury Road?
Yes, with Tom Hardy, I think, right?
Tom Hardy,
yeah.
And Furiosa, the character that was pretty much like the bald.
She was bald,
yeah. Film. Yeah, and she was played by Charlize Theron. I forget her name.
Charlize Theron, I think, is how you say
it,
or something like that.
That's who I was trying to get. Yes.
Yeah.
It was played by her, and she did a phenomenal job in the film. I think that is fucking underrated, in my opinion. I think it was fun to watch, dude. It is so good, and it feels so weird that it's been this long since we've gotten a sequel or even a prequel now. Like, I wasn't expecting a prequel, but I mean,
I watched the movie I think once.
Charlize Theron, there we go. So that's what it was. Yeah,
I wasn't super a big fan of it, not because of any, like, I guess, plotline reasons or any way of like how it was shot. Just I found the guy, the main gross villain dude, was super revolting, and I kind of never want to see it again for that reason. Like, I was just like, ha! Whenever I saw him.
He was actually in the original Mad Max movie. I don't know if you were.
Oh, I didn't see that. I just saw this one. I was just like, shit, I don't want to see that guy again. So I haven't seen it since then, but I remember liking the movie, and I remember the scale of which the chase scenes was crazy. Like that was mind blowing at the time, and I think it still is.
I just kind of wish Tom Hardy had way more lines in the film. He's a way better actor to not have that many lines.
Yeah, he was kind of quiet, if I remember right. Also, I thought that the way he had like that weird metal thing was going to poke him in the eye the whole time, so it kind of gave me anxiety with that too. But, but yeah, I think a prequel would be kind of interesting because she was a strong character. She was commanding in the movie.
She was a badass, dude. Yeah. She was a badass for sure. So, we'll see what's up with this prequel though. Yeah. This is very interesting, and also the fact that they had Richard Madden in the film, like, as I wonder which character he's going to be playing as, because if this is a prequel to Furiosa, that means I don't think Mad Max is even going to be in there.
I don't remember the timeline of the movies because, like I said, I never watched the first Mad Max.
So yeah, we'll have to wait and see what's going on with this, because this is kind of random that they were going to do a prequel now.
It just kind of came out of nowhere.
It's been since 2015 was when Fury Road came out. So it's just strange to me that they decided to go with the prequel instead of a sequel. We'll see what happens with this.
I like Richard Madden though. I mean, I enjoyed him in Game of Thrones. He was okay as Prince Charming. I think that he's got a lot of potential. And he's got chops for sure. So I mean, him plus Charlize Theron would be, a stellar cast already. So I mean, it's got potential. It's kind of weird.
It's not Charlize Theron. That's the thing.
Oh yeah, you mentioned it's not her.
No, it's Jodie Comer. It's a different actress. Okay, it's supposed to be like a younger version of her,
right?
Pretty much. So I don't know if Richard Madden is going to be playing Max. See, this is the thing. It just seems like they're just going to be like
turning it out to
recasting kind of ish, and see if maybe they can move forward.
Do you think Mad Max is going to become almost like a new James Bond, where they just keep recasting? But instead of like a whole bunch of movies, it's just one movie at a time. It's a new version of Mad Max as he goes through.
Yeah, this looks like a mess to me. I don't know. Well, I'm just gonna have to wait and see. Yeah. I don't want to be a negative Nancy about it or anything like that. I kind of wanted a Mad Max 2, with Tom Hardy and Charlize Theron. But I think Charlize Theron's character died in that movie.
I think so too, right? I think so.
Yeah, I believe she died. But I just wanted one with Tom Hardy again. I think it would have been good, you know. But maybe that man is just so busy with other projects. So I guess that's probably why they went with the prequel. But we'll hopefully get you guys updated on more news in regards to Mad Max Furiosa. Now the last one, some more positive news though, for sure.
Okay.
Karen Kusama is set to direct a new Dracula film for Blumhouse and Universal Pictures. So we got Dracula and we got Frankenstein being developed as of right now.
Yep. All I can hope is it's not going to be like Dracula Untold. You ever see that movie?
Yeah, I did.
Please not that. But if they're going to take it in a different direction than that and just let it be.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're going to go the realistic route in terms of like what they did with the Invisible Man.
Yeah, which would be cool.
Yes, but I don't know, man. I love Dracula, dude.
He's an awesome character.
Yes, I love the character so much. I even love the classic Universal one with Bela Lugosi. Like,
oh wow, okay, going old school.
Yeah. Yes. So we'll see what they end up doing with this, and I hope they capture the creepiness of Dracula.
Yeah.
And how manipulative he was and charming too.
Yeah, he's like the living embodiment of the devil, really. I mean, it's I know that if you're fans of the Castlevania games, you're very familiar with Dracula and everything like that. And I know that this isn't going to be that one from those games and everything, but still, like, Dracula is a character that is old and well known. And still, when you think about it, even though it's kind of gotten into the point where, like, I want your Vlad and all that stuff, but I think there's a ton of potential, and
we need a modern take on it. Not just modern, but we need that character to be more revived in this time period
for sure
we're at right now. Just because, dude, Dracula is he's a threat. He's the vampire. He's not a vampire. He's the vampire.
He ain't no shiny vampire in the woods romancing a teenager. No. Oh, hell no. This guy,
He's fucking evil, man. And hopefully they make him that. And I'm very happy that it's Blumhouse.
Yeah.
That's taking over, because they did a phenomenal job with the Invisible Man. And there's no doubt about it that I think they're gonna kill it with Dracula.
No pun intended.
Yeah, I don't know too much with Karen Kusama. I'm not sure what other projects she's actually worked on before.
Yeah, but the thing about Blumhouse,
Destroyer, The Invitation, Jennifer's Body, Girl Fight, and Eon Flux, and yeah,
that's the thing about Blumhouse, though, is that I've said that they've had like hit and misses, but for the most part, they've been hits. They're pretty good at making things.
Have you had a chance to watch the Netflix one? A chance?
Of what?
Of Dracula?
Netflix? No, I didn't know there was one at all.
Yeah, there's a Dracula adaptation on Netflix, which is pretty good. It's pretty good.
I got that in my little notepad here. I'll write it down real quick.
Yeah, so hopefully they go that route in terms of like spooky. They make him charming as hell and manipulative, and it's just we'll see.
That'd be cool.
And hopefully they cast someone cool as Van Helsing too.
Just the Vampire Hunter.
Just not Hugh Jackman.
Not Hugh Jackman.
Hugh Jackman. I think that's probably one of my only films that I just not.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I don't know, but yeah, I'm looking forward to this for sure. I think that right now, well, I know that they've tried in the past to do like the Universal monsters, and they kind of overstepped or they did things wrong. But with Invisible Man and the potential of a Frankenstein and a Dracula, I'm kind of ready for it to really start getting its feet off the ground and becoming a thing, a Universal monster universe. I don't know if it would be all interconnected or just a series of films, but I'd be down for sure to see all these. So I'm excited, man. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm absolutely pumped with this. So good news. I hope they do the characters, the classic Universal Monsters characters justice, and hopefully we can get a remake or just like a reboot of The Mummy as well with Blumhouse's take.
Not Tom Cruise's last one.
No. Let's
that was so weird.
One. Let's go with what Blumhouse's ideas are so far, because they seem pretty good.
Yeah.
And with what they did with Invisible Man, hopefully they kill it with Dracula and then the Frankenstein, and then maybe another take on the Mummy and the werewolf. Please.
Yeah.
Man.
That would be cool. There's potential. There's potential for sure. So keep an eye out, people.
Absolutely. Yeah. So we'll keep everyone updated on the Universal Monsters news and Blumhouse news. But other than that, that's pretty much it, guys. That's all the news that we got for today. We're gonna go ahead and keep everyone updated as for the next podcast throughout the week. If you get anything big announced, we promise you that we will cover it here on the next episode for sure.
Absolutely.
Thank you guys again for listening. Tim, good to have you here as always, buddy.
Of course, man. Episode 10. We're in double digits. I'm glad to be here through it all.
We did it, folks. So if you guys can do us a huge favor, share the podcast, guys. Be sure to follow it on Spotify. Also, be sure to like the video. Share it on social medias. Leave a comment down below. What are your thoughts on either of the news that we covered today, for the castings, and also for the unfortunate news of the whole coronavirus going on, that that canceled E3, and it's currently trending all over Twitter right now, and also pretty much halted the production of Falcon and the Winter Soldier. But other than that, take care of yourselves, guys, please. Like we mentioned before in the beginning, be sure to wash your hands, use hand sanitizer, stay inside if you need to. You don't really need to leave the house to stay inside. Other than that, guys, thank you guys so much for listening. And once again, thank you guys again for sticking with us for 10 whole episodes. Now, stay tuned, guys. We don't have a review for this week, but next week we will have one for Deadshot.
Or Bloodshot. You keep saying Deadshot. I don't know why.
Where am I getting Deadshot from?
It's a character.
I know it is a character, but I don't know why I keep saying Deadshot. Bloodshot with Vin Diesel.
Yes.
Okay, aka the new Triple X. No,
dun, dun, dun.
Just kidding. Yeah. No, we will have a review for Bloodshot, and after Bloodshot, hopefully the next review will be A Quiet Place 2, which I am looking forward to. But as far as Bloodshot goes, we'll see. Do you have any expectations or hopes for that?
No, I mean, I've just been very impressed by the visuals. Honestly, I think they look pretty good. Like, they surprised me. The fact
visually,
that
I would agree with you. Yes,
yeah.
it does look pretty good. As far as story goes and stuff,
I don't know what to expect at all, honestly.
We shall wait and see.
Yeah,
man.
We'll see how it goes.
Vin Diesel being a badass as usual, so we'll definitely have to wait and see. And stay tuned for our review for that next week and the next episode of What's Poppin' Podcast. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching and listening. We'll catch you guys in the next episode.